Actually, you missed my point that it is not only about race. What I said is the closer one is to the status quo of being an older, wealthy, cishet white man, the more passes they receive and the more excuses are made for them. Whereas the further one is from that status quo, and the furthest one can be from a white man is to be a black woman, the higher a standard of perfection they are held to. Privilege is a spectrum, race being one of its factors. And clearly UPenn's former president, Liz McGill, is not an older, wealthy, cishet white man. Neither is MIT's president, and at this point some people are wondering whether her resignation is inevitable, which calls into question anti-Semitism was increasing at colleges and universities across the United States. So why is it that the only institutions that were called for the congressional hearing are those that are presided over by women? For example, there was also a marked increase at Princeton, as well as at Yale, with parents, students, and alumni calling upon leadership to do more to combat it. So as far as similarly situated institutions go, why were those presidents not called in for the congressional hearing? And I'll leave it to you to guess how close to the status quo of older, wealthy, cishet white men they are. Now, something that does have to do with race is that Liz McGill's resignation is being viewed as Liz McGill's resignation. It is not being used to make a broader statement about the appropriateness of white women in leadership positions. But Claudine Gay's resignation is being used to do that, with people saying that she was a diversity hire, which she was not. She was qualified for the job in her own right. People like you are using this to say that DEI is bad and that black women should not be in positions of leadership. And that does have to do with race, because in the United States, white people get to be viewed as individuals, whereas people of the global majority are viewed as caricatures whose actions reflect on everybody else who shares their demographic. But meanwhile, this guy faced no accountability and kept his job.